When you're working with your documents in Dokigami, you're occasionally going to run into some issues. And so we've provided this Docs to Review tab. And underneath that, you're going to find two different types of views. One will show you your unassigned docs, and the other will show you your error docs. We'll cover the error docs in another video. So to start off, let's talk about unassigned docs. Again, whenever we see a badge, that means that there's something new in there, and that typically is going to show up after I've uploaded some new documents. So that just lets me know that, hey, I uploaded some new documents. It assigned all of those documents to different doc sets, but something didn't quite make it in there. So I'm going to open this up, and what I see right now are got like 6 documents in here. The new one is this liquid text Animos contract, and I happen to know actually that I specifically unassigned that one. So Dokigami had assigned it to one doc set, and I realized it did not belong in there, and so it put it here into this unassigned docs. And then it's also got 5 different SOWs. So I can tell right now, just by looking at the status over here, that these SOWs are in error state, and that is why they are unassigned currently. And so we'll talk about errors in just a moment, but let's talk about this one right here and what we can do with this. The first thing that we can do, even with error docs for that matter, is we can attempt to auto-assign all. So what that does is essentially repeats that process when you first uploaded these documents. It scans them, processes them, and tries to find existing doc sets or potentially new doc sets that they could form, and put those documents in there. You know your documents, so if in this case, I happen to know that I don't have other contracts like this. This is going to need to remain unassigned until I add some more contracts or I decide to delete this. So for example, one thing I could decide to do is I can go ahead and grab that, and I can just say, you know, I'm not going to have any more of these other types of documents in here. This is just adding to my page count, and I really don't need it to, so I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to get a delete confirmation, so this will happen anytime that I try to delete something from Dokigami. It'll just let me know kind of what's happening. I can get a little bit more info, and that will just tell me that, you know, if I delete the document, it's going to remove it from DocSet. It'll remove it from output results and so forth. It doesn't really belong to anything, so I'm okay deleting it. I'll do that right there. That leaves me with these 5 SOWs. So I know that these are SOWs. I think that they're okay. So I could grab these right here and assign them to. So I can go in here and I can say, I know that these belong to these statements of work. And then I can click OK. And now that is going to put those into, it's going to remove them out of the unassigned docs, and it's going to put them into the statements of work. Now those will need to reprocess in order to deal with these errors. And in fact, I'll need to look through these and make sure that these don't have errors that keep them from being used altogether. In some cases, we have errors that we can reprocess. In some cases, we don't. And now I go up to my unassigned docs, and you can see that there's nothing left in there because I've dealt with all of the 6 that were previously in there. Deleted 1, added 5 to a different doc set, and that's cleared that view out. So it's a good place to come, check and see if you have anything that's unassigned, and make sure that it either, if it should be assigned to something, assign it to something, or if it doesn't really belong in Dokigami, you don't need it, it's a good place to find those documents and get rid of them.